Welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm going to make a layered pumpkin loaf. It's really delicious, and a bundt pumpkin loaf as well. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We are making 2 layered pumpkin loaves today. So we are adding in 1 full cup of yogurt and 2.5 cups of light brown sugar, 2 cups of pumpkin pie puree, and 4 teaspoons of vanilla, and 2 1/3 cups of olive oil. Sorry about the back of the can there. Olive oil is heart healthy and has anti-inflammatory components, and I use that over any other option. And pumpkin puree also is high in fiber, supports digestion, and helps stabilize blood sugar. And eggs also get a pretty bad rap because they are a high quality protein, great for your brain health. Just want to throw all that in here right at the beginning, since they're part of our ingredients. Well, we can't leave out the Greek yogurt, can we? It's lower in fat than butter, it has probiotics, and it's high in protein, of course. Um, so I also would love to share with you that I love using a wooden spoon for this with a wide flat end. Um, it helps stir it up really quickly. It like stirs it up really pretty much in about 2 minutes. And we're about to get started here. Okay, we're going to get the sifter and set it up. Right over here. And we're going to start with adding the first 2 cups. On top. Sorry about all that extra noise. Usually I do a voiceover. And then we are going to add in, I've doubled the recipe, so we're going to add in a teaspoon of baking soda. Which one is this? This powder. This is the soda. And next is the baking powder. And we need a whole tablespoon. And next we need a whole teaspoon of salt. And get up here and get the salt. No, it takes me a while to do the editing. If I have so many videos back that I've piled up just because of the editing. But I want to make sure I get this out. And also, we need the pumpkin pie spice. So we need to double up on that, which is it calls for a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. So I need to double up on that and give it 2. And a calls for a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, so we're going to give it a tablespoon. Almost out of cinnamon. That's very, very bad. All right. So I'm going to start sifting this, and then I'm going to add in slowly 2 more cups of flour. I need to get a container for my flour. So I go through the bags pretty fast. I've been just keeping it in a Ziploc bag. All right. And just sift it on through. I'm my own camera person. Sorry if it's picking up a dog barking. Our dog is in the backyard. And the window is open because it's a nice fall day. And we want to make sure that when it gets down here to the bottom, that there might be a couple of hard bubbles or rocky places. So we'll just rub those on through. That's pretty smooth actually. But sometimes it comes out that way. So we'll just rub it on through and then move on and stir it on in until it's completely mixed. It doesn't take very long. So if you're wondering why I sit down in that chair, I have a torn meniscus, and I've already had surgery for it. But it's torn in 2 places, but one part didn't get repaired. It was left behind. So I'm going to be having another surgery, but that was 2 years ago. And I will be having another surgery. But that chair does help if you do have any problems standing in the kitchen. That chair does help out a lot. It's a saddle chair, and you can find that on Amazon. Very cool. Very, very cool. being 53, it doesn't always, things don't always heal the way that they used to, I guess, but the Lord does provide, and I am blessed. All right, so here we are. That didn't take long at all. And we are going to make the other part of it. So, one thing I do know is we got to clean as we go. It's one thing that keeps me sane as I age. We're going to take 2 sticks of butter, actually. So this is just 1/2. Since we've doubled up on the recipe, and throw it on in here and break it up. Cold butter. We're going to make sure that it's cold. Actually, I might want to break this up a little bit smaller. Make this read. There we go. So I'm going to do this with my hands, but you don't have to do it with your hands. I'll show you a utensil that you can use, but it kind of comes out a little sandy looking with the utensil. It's still good, and it looks nice still. All right, that is 1 stick, and I'm going to go ahead and cut up the 2nd stick, but before I do that, we are going to add in, is it the 3rd? Yes, it's the 3rd. So we're going to need, since we're doubling, we're going to do 2/3 of brown sugar. And then we're also going to need some cinnamon. Where's my teaspoon? So we are going to need 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. I might have to break out a new one. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We We had it. All right. Now I'm going to chop up the last stick of butter and we'll start getting this going. We'll be back. I'm adding in 1 cup of flour per loaf and then mixing it with my hands. Now all of it is not going to mix in, all the butter's not going to mix into the flour, and that's fine. So after that, we're going to put it into the refrigerator until it's time to use. Okay, we're going to spray this with, you can spray it with cooking spray, or you don't even have to, you could skip this process altogether. But I have some olive oil spray, and this helps this stick the parchment paper, and it makes it easier to lift out the loaf. So we'll just slowly add in half of it. Move that a little bit. Grab a spoon. Get that in there. So I have the filling, that was the oven, the filling in the refrigerator because we needed to keep that cool. All right. And I made some extra. Grab this out. Oh. We'll just sprinkle it on evenly. Well, we don't want to get it onto right on the edge. Yeah. All right. Now on the top, we're going to use a cookie maker. And this is going to help it just sit on top of the filling. a little bit more in there. Now I should have done the bottom half of the other pan first. I'll blend it across the top a little bit. All right, now we are going to put some over the top. It's going to look beautiful. This is going to be bulging out. Throw another chunk or two in on top. All right. So that's ready for the oven, and I'm going to fill the other loaf pan, and then we will be. This is what it looks like before it goes in, and we're heating the oven to 350. We're going to cook it for 65 minutes, and I'm adding in just a little mini bunt. Okay, we are going to check it with a toothpick, but not go all the way to the second layer. If it comes out clean, it's done. And we are done. And I'm going to make a little icing for this one. So that came out beautiful. And I'm going to be transferring these to the cooling rack and letting them cool off. Came out beautiful. When you do it with your hands, it comes out really beautiful. Just move this down a little bit. This one has already cooled off. Okay. And there we are. I'm going to let that cool off. Yeah, I made an extra batch, and then I ended up, because I I overdid it on the first one, so luckily I ended up making an extra batch um, because I was going to make the bundt cake. So I just filled a little extra. That's why it's a little fat. My bundt cake is little mini because I was going to show you how to do a icing on it, but the bundt cake is just a little mini. It's going to be cute. What's your favorite dessert? Drop it down below in the comment section. We are going to use 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. That wasn't quite a full cup, a little bit more. And 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. Use this one. And a teaspoon of vanilla. And a 1/4 teaspoon, I'm using pumpkin spice. You can use cinnamon. Or pumpkin spice, it doesn't matter. We're going to mix that up. And that's actually a whole bunch. It would go over an entire loaf. We're going to be able to drown this mini bunch with it. And we're just going to add in cold water as needed. To our desired thickness. And if you end up putting a little bit too much water, that's okay. You can add a little bit more confectioner's sugar. All right, now we're ready to ice it. Just go down the cracks here. Beautiful. This is going to be delicious. And after it dries, I'll move it onto another plate. It's probably going to be gone pretty quickly. It might not even make a picture. I'll take a picture before. I'll try and take a picture before it leaves this plate. All right. That is how you do it. And another good hint, if you want to get it down into holes, if you're making this in, is to punch holes with a fork before you pour the icing. we weren't wanting the holes. It's in the middle. Now, if I were a little more careful, it could have just been really cute right up in the middle. But when it hardens, it will be there. If you'd like to show some support, hit that thumbs up and throw a comment down below.